Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be going over my Godot weather system. So a few things to keep in mind here is that I have a few different things. Up in the top left corner, there's the time, world time, and when it gets dark, there's a canvas modulate node that gets dark with the canvas. And I also have this UI here that says what biome I'm in, what the weather is, what the moisture is, what the altitude, temperature, all these variables that go into what weather I want to show in the game. Okay, so we can see that it's nighttime now, 8 p.m. And you can adjust this, and yeah, you can download this on my GitHub page. It's a public repo. I'll leave a link in the description below. And you can also download this app on my itch.io page. And I will leave a link in the description below there. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so let's get into the video here. Okay, so I have the time here. And if I go up this mountain, you can see the weather changes. So the moisture got 75%, the barometer went down to 25%. The temperature is at 0.5%. Okay, and the weather is check marked to be on, so you can see that. Okay, so, and then if I go away from this area, the weather goes away and it's just a nice day. There's still a little bit more rain coming, but it's a clear day. And then if I go back up to this mountain here, it turns on that weather. You can see the static energy is about 75% too. And you can see some of these knobs go back and forth what their values are. So you can set up what kind of variations you want in your weather. Okay, so let's quit out of this. And then I'll go to the real project. So you can see how this actually works inside of its own self-contained scene. So this is not part of a game, but this is just the repo that I have that has the base biome, weather, and time classes. Okay, so you can see I am controlling this white block here. And then the same thing, if I go into this area right here, the weather turns on and it starts to rain. And then if I leave that area, the weather goes back to normal. Okay, so let's go over a few things on how this all works. Okay, so I have my day-night canvas modulate node right here. And what this does is that it takes into consideration what the moisture is, what the barometer is, and what the temperature is according to the biome. So the biome is the current state of weather that area has. So we can see that this node has a biome, and it has rain, snow, wind chills, fog overlay, lightning under it. And so this biome connects to this day-night canvas module. So if it starts to rain and it gets cloudy, then the day-night canvas module, it's going to get darker. And then once it clears up, then it's going to get lighter. So it connects in with this day-night canvas modulate. But it also looks at this world time service here. And if we go into that, so this world time service is just a singleton. It's a global up here, world time service here. And what we have is we have our in-game speed and our initial hour. So in-game speed is going to say how fast you want the game to run, and according to time. So like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, how fast you want that to actually elapse. Okay, and then in the day-night cycle, in this day-night canvas modulate, it's going to take in your biome, it's going to take in a gradient, and it's going to take in the moisture barometer and temperature of the biome that you want it to be dark. So moisture, I want it to be above 50%. Barometer, I want it to be below 50%, and temperature is anything. And so you can see that this gradient is going to, let's see here. So the color right here of the canvas modulate is we want it to have this gradient. So this gradient, as we set up here, it's going to get the gradient sample from this time value. And this time value is going to be based on the biome conditions or the weather for the weather service, the world time service current value, so the current time of the day. So if it's night, it's going to be towards the dark area. Okay, so that's the day-night canvas modulate. I also have a label here, this world time label, and all it does is just connect to the world time service time tick, and it just updates the label text with the world time service get current time string. Okay, so that's the time. And then the biome is kind of a big class right here. So the biome represents your environment or your weather patterns that you want to enable or disable based on certain variables like moisture, altitude, the barometer, the static in the air. So that's what this biome environment is. So this biome environment is just a resource, and you can say what type of biome you want. So here I have selected mountains. You can select a bunch of different ones, and then you can click this button to apply certain weather ranges based on your biome type. So if you are on the ocean or the beach, you don't want it to snow, so it's going to set your altitude below 0.5. And stuff like that. It's going to change your min and max ranges, and then it's going to change your current weather and stuff like that. Okay, so we have mountains selected here, and there's a function called weather changed. Let's see if I can find it here. Or no, that's just the resource of the biome environment. And this is going to say when the current biome temperature is within this range, then that's what the current weather can be. So the moisture, see up here, the moisture is 0. If I modify this to 3.4, then I try to change this, I can't go below that 3.4. So the min and max, the weather ranges here, dictate to what that current weather can be. So change that back to 0. I can put this back to 0.25. Okay, so the current weather is the actual current weather of the biome. The mins and maxes just say what that biome is capable of in terms of how low the temperature can get or how high the temperature can get, what the max is. Okay? And so the biome is going to take a biome environment, it's going to take some noise, and this weather enabled is going to be true or false. So if it's false, there's going to be no weather patterns, there's going to be nothing under that. If it's true, then it's going to look at the current weather ranges, and decide which weather patterns to play. So a quick example of that is, let's just enable the weather right here. And let's bring up the moisture. Okay. So I also have snow. So in order to get snow, I have moisture, the barometer's low, and the temperature's low. So if I drop the temperature below the 25%, and it's not going to let me. So if I come back up here to the biome, and it's not going to let me, so I'm going to put that to 0. So these are mountains. So I don't want them to go too high into the temperature. Okay, so let's try that again. So enable the weather. I'll increase the moisture. It's going to start raining. And then I'm going to lower the temperature. And then that's when it starts snowing. And if I increase the temperature again, it's going to start snowing again. Or raining again. And the snow is going to fade away. Gradually fade away. Okay. Okay, so that's the biome. It controls what weather to show or not to show. That's it. And it uses these current weather patterns, moisture, altitude, temperature, barometer, wind speed, and static energy to show which weather pattern. Okay, so let's go into the biome here. So the biome, let's go into rain. So the rain is this weather class. And so this weather class is just going to say, you know, what biome environment that it's going to be a part of. So if we look at this rain, the weather ranges are 0.5 to 1. So if the current weather moisture is below 0.5, then it's not going to rain at all. So it has to match all of these: moisture, altitude, temperature, barometer, and static energy. So altitude is 0 to 1, so that's fine. It's going to match everything. Temperature is 0.25 to 1, so that's rain. So if we go to snow, the temperature is from 0 to 25. See, that's the difference. Rain is 25 to 1, snow is 0 to 25. So that's how the ranges match up what the current weather is, whether to show the snow particles or show the rain particles. And that's just what all this weather is just it has this biome environment, so it matches what environment it needs to show or hide. It has the particles, which the GPU particles 2D that I'm using, and like the snow particles. And then it has a light material and a heavy material. So the light material is just going to gradually fall down, like little snow flakes are going to fall down. Heavy material, it's going to be more like a blizzard. And then some other things, you know, like the wind trails or the lightning, just uses a sprite 2D and a shader to show the lightning. So it doesn't use particles. And so that's why I have it set up to, it's not going to use any of the particles. It just has the sprite right here. And then it also plays some audio, and it repeats the lightning strikes also. So that's what the weather class is. So the weather class just controls what it wants to show or hide based on what particles you want to show, or sprites, or color rect overlays, or whatever. And it's going to kind of control the particles for you. Then you put that under the biome, and the biome actually controls what the current weather is. Then the biome's going to check each one of the child weather nodes and see if it matches. If it does, it's going to play that weather pattern. So in this biome, I have rain, snow, wind trails, fog, and lightning. So let's just look at the lightning really quick. So the lightning, it has to have a static energy min of 0.75, the barometer, and it has to be, the moisture has to be above 75% right there. Okay, so let's test this again. So now that you know that all, so if the weather isn't even enabled, it's not going to show anything. So we'll enable it. And then if the wind speed is more than, I think, 25%, it's going to show the wind trails and that wind. And see, the moisture's low, so it's not raining. But if we turn that up, then it's going to start raining. And then if we turn the temperature down, then it's going to start snowing. Let's turn the static energy up. And we'll turn the temperature up here. It's raining. Let's see if we can get a lightning bolt. Maybe not. Maybe it's over here. Okay. Okay, so now we have set up our weather patterns. We've set up our biome to control the current weather. We have set up our day and night modulate. And now we have a weather enable area. With this weather enable area, you can enable certain weather patterns. So when the player enters this box right here, I want to change the moisture to 75%. And just to make sure that it doesn't change anything else, just zero out everything else. Because if you have a value there, it's going to enable it. So 0 means don't enable it. Okay, so we'll play this. Okay, so that area, now that we go into the area, it will turn on the weather. It will put the moisture up to 75%. Then when we leave, the moisture goes back down. So that's one way to control the weather patterns. Okay, and then I brought that into my other game, A Nightingale's Dream. So let's test that out again. Okay, so it's a nice day, nice moderate day. If we come up to this mountain right here, it's going to trigger the weather into that stormy day. I'm just going to show the lightning right there also. Alright everyone, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. Again, I'll put the links to the GitHub repo and my itch.io page so you can download the weather app. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day everyone.